Last session, you transformed a jagged outcrop into a fortress. Fighters braced behind spike-laced barricades, archers climbed the laddered rock, and sorceresses took elevated perches. Across 1,000 yards of mirage and shimmer, shapes resolved into a gnoll host, flanked by Anubian scouts and rogues. Circling above, a lone manticore rode the thermals, vulture patient, waiting for someone to falter. The first testing shots whistled in. Salah Kamara called down his spectral frying pan and cracked it across a climber's helm, then strode the ridge, doling out healing and triage. Anubian scouts erupted from the sands at close range, hurling spears and firing heavy crossbows. Their rogues slipped up the rocks to carve at your rear line. Draxaur answered with a blink of smoke and blue scales, misty-stepping to the ridge to cover a sorceress and hacking into a scout, then snapping a shimmering ward against a magus's scorching rays. On the flank, Avourel sank an arrow deep into the throat of a hulking gnoll in spiked plate and drew the brute's maddened charge. A heartbeat later, under a storm of arrows and a lethal spear thrust, Avourel collapsed on the stones. Farid did not hesitate. He vaulted the spikes, took a glancing blow, shouldered Avourel's weight, and dragged him back behind the barricade before the khopesh could fall. Above, longbow salvos laced the rock. One sorceress arced backward and slid lifeless from the escarpment. Tam's answer came from the heavens. Moonlight crashed down upon the plated warlord, and then Tam surged into bear shape behind the stakes, soaking spears and mauling whatever dared the points. Your archers scythed through clustered targets. Your sorceresses burned chosen foes with searing blasts. The Anubian cleric's guiding light marked Avourel for death, and later he tried to freeze Farid with binding magic, only for the grip to slip away. Zaluna Al Zara's voice rose from the rear as she mended wounds and hurled blinding radiance, while Draxaur carved a shielded circle at the top of the ladder. Revived by allies, Avourel forced himself upright, drew the Grimfire pistol, and with a single thunderous shot blew 4 gnolls to pieces, collapsing a push at the barricade. The plated brute still clawed forward through moonfire until Zaluna's radiant strike punched through and dropped him for good. As the manticore dipped from the heights and sand-buried Anubians reformed their lines, you still held the Skylark redoubt, grim, bloodied, and ready for the next charge.